on the channel, we're talking about Big Daddy. No, not the Adam Sandler movie, and we're not talking about Diesel either. We're talking about the legend of the squared circle, British professional wrestling legend, Big Daddy.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Chella / Wrestling Trader unboxing and review. And today we've got British legend Big Daddy here at the channel. But remember, for all your wrestling needs that are AEW and Mattel, make sure you're headed over to Ringside Collectibles and make sure you're using discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. But we're back again, once again, with another British legend in the Chella Toys / Wrestling Trader toy line. It has converted now over to Wrestling Trader, but this is technically old school Chella, as I did just receive this in the mail fairly recently. Of course, we did unbox Giant Haystacks on the channel, Nick Aldis, Dynamite Kid, a lot of British legends from the Chella line. So we're continuing that tradition here with Big Daddy. And Big Daddy is one of those guys that maybe a lot of not a lot of American fans are aware of, but over in the UK, I mean, I've seen a lot of his matches over the years. I remember as a little kid, I can't remember if it was my library or my local video store. I remember getting a VHS tape of British wrestling, which was pretty different from a kid growing up in the NWA and the WWF time frame, but I appreciated and it consumed all wrestling I could get my hands on when I was a little kid. And I remember seeing Big Daddy, I just remember, wow, this is one big dude. But it's just not your typical Hulkamania, for example. But man, he ruled England and the UK wrestling scene kind of like Hulkamania. So it's one of those things, I guess, more akin to a Dusty Rhodes. You look at Dusty Rhodes, and you take a picture, that's the biggest wrestling star. Well, there's a lot more to it and things like that, and that's where Big Daddy does come in. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So let's kick it off with old Big Daddy. Wasn't it Big Daddy Crabtree too? Or maybe just Big Daddy, but I believe Big Daddy Crabtree was official at one time. But there he is, very Hasbro inspired, as we do know with these. Very cool, love the action, even though there's not action, it does show action. Big figure, very Yokozuna style. Love having big figures in any toy line I get. There's a big picture of Big Daddy right over there. Looking good. I will say the vacuum seal, or whatever you want to call it, on here is not extremely tight, and unfortunately mine is cracked, as it's not the hard Hasbro Mattel style plastic. It's a little bit cheaper plastic, so I do have cracks in this. No big deal for me. I am opening this, but if you are one that wants to keep this on card, you might have some issues, especially if this is coming from the UK for you. On the back, we got the big old cross sell, we got the blurb, got a lot going on here. Let's see what's going on in the back here. It says collect them all, Giant Haystacks, check. Big Daddy, check. Greg Valentine, on the way. Tangaloa, sorry Tanga, I passed on you. Gangrel, check. Luna Vachon, I haven't pulled the trigger on that one. And then Adam Bomb, we unboxed on the channel. Big Stevie Cool, Hollywood Nova, check and check. I got those guys ordered. It says Big Daddy, height 6'6", 375 pounds. Boy, I don't know. I thought he was a lot bigger than 375. Origin, Halifax, West Yorkshire, England. Absolutely stunningly beautiful this time of year. There is a coffee shop there that I highly recommend. I can't remember the name of it. I'll try to remember and put it in the description. But oh, check it out next time you're in that town. Debuting in 1952, a long time ago. I think, yeah, boy, that is a long time ago. Big Daddy was one of the biggest stars of British wrestling during the 70s and 80s and was the main star of joint promotions. So, ruling with an iron fist in the 70s and 80s, a big dude. Of course, he has passed away. Nothing else really going on here, but quite the figure, and there's only one thing to do at this point, is open it up. And of course, ages 15 and up on this one, so be careful, you 14-year-olds. I wouldn't recommend handling this if I was you. But there it is, there's old Big Daddy. Oh, don't want to lose that hat. There it is, and up high. See you later. All right, we do get some accessories with this one, which we do know the retro-style figures. We get a few accessories here and there, but not quite as many as we get with this one. We do get his big old gold top hat there. Nothing like a guy in like a big singlet and a huge belly and a top hat and give him one of those every once in a while. He's just missing a monocle and a cane, and he could be quite the character of something, I would imagine. But nice gold hat here, looks really good. No problems with the paint, looks really nice there. He does have a nice robe that's got a little sequins action to it. So there's actually some detail in this robe. That isn't too bad at all, actually. They took some time on this. It does look like something you could make at your your local Hancock Fabrics or something like that, but it does look good, and it's part of the whole show here. I do like that. So that is looking good, and it is removable. I think it might be a little hard. No, I was going to say it's hard to remove, but not hard at all. Slides right out. It's got a little bit of give to it. So a fabulous, fabulous little jacket, coat, ring robe, whatever you want to call it right here. So 2 really good accessories with this one. So I'm here for that. Now we get down to old Big Daddy. Now, I think we got to be honest. I think if you take this to the UK, you take this overseas, a lot of people are going to know Big Daddy right away. Somebody showed them this head, take Big Daddy off here. Who is this? It's a wrestler. Who is it? I think being similar to Hulkamania and things like that, I think people are going to say Big Daddy. Over here, might get a little confusing to some people. I can see some people say, well, is that Dick Murdoch? Maybe it's Dick Slater. Who knows? It could be any Dick out there. Who knows? But it is Big Daddy for sure. But it does look enough like Big Daddy for me. But I won't say that if you remove Big Daddy off the chest here or off the stomach, that I would say right away. I don't know if my mind would go there right away. It almost looks to me a lot like Dick Murdoch. It looks like a little West Texas redneck style with Dusty Rhodes. But it definitely looks like Big Daddy when you know what you're looking at and you kind of compare and say, okay, yeah, I see it there. And one thing that's really striking on this one is the head is the deep, deep blue eyes on this one. They really do pop. They did a really good job on that. Got very, very bright blonde hair like a young Dusty Rhodes or Ric Flair. A little paint scuffing in the back, but not totally terrible. It does look good. Does the head move? Yes, the head does have articulation a little bit tight there. Of course, there is no action features like we get with the Mattel or the Hasbros back in the day. He does got the old gorilla press slam, like a young Hulk Hogan or a young Ultimate Warrior, of course. But he does got those. Nice sculpting into the hand and everything else. Very, very pale, kind of pasty white, which I think was on point there. Talked about the white singlet, big belly on him. Got Big Daddy right there on the front, looks good. He's got BD down on the bottom on his boots. Got a white strip against the black. Really no articulation. You get the head, you get the arms, and that's all she wrote. And that's all you're going to get with Big Daddy here. He does not have holes in his feet, so he's not going to fit on a ringside stand or any kind of stand. But it is a cool looking, bigger figure here. And of course, this is kind of out there for the Chella market, which is based over in the UK. Same with Wrestling Trader. So this is a bigger deal over there than it would be in America. But of course, we do know there's a lot of people that collect all toy lines across the world in the wrestling figure department. So there's a lot of people importing this one over to the U.S. and things like that, but not a bad figure at all here. The accessories here really do take this one to the next level, and I will say this is a lot like Giant Haystacks, which I got right here, and I believe these two were quite the foes back in the day, like a young Warrior and Hogan, some might say, just on a bigger scale and bigger and different reasons. But these two are probably my favorite 2 Chella figures we've received so far, which is interesting too. So I'd have to imagine fans over in the UK where these guys fought every Saturday night and things like that, they probably are even bigger over there. So very interesting, but there they are. There's these two, and then I did mention we got a few others. We got Nick Aldis, which we recently unboxed on the channel. A little bit to be desired with that Nick Aldis, if you ask me. And then you do get the latest version of Tom Billington, the British Bulldog, right there. Does look good as well. So the Dynamite Kid coming in here. So 4 different overseas characters if you're in the United States from the Chella line. All are pretty good except the Nick Aldis. I'm just not a fan of that Nick Aldis figure, unfortunately. But Big Daddy beat my expectation. That's always a good day here on the channel. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? What are your thoughts on Big Daddy? Picking him up? Playing the long game? Absolute pass? Who the heck is Big Daddy? I'll stick to the Adam Sandler movie or I'll stick to Kevin Nash. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far, you might as well like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We got videos every single day and then some. Don't forget about the Patreon channel where you can get early video access to videos like this. Bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, you name it, and best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel, ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget about social media, where you can find me at SirPaul64 over there on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Big Daddy, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.